Today we're going to read reflection number 36 from a little book called Dare to Journey with Henry Nouwen by Charles Rigma. And this reflection is called Conversations of the Heart. And it's a reflection of Psalm 55, verses 16 and 17. And there we read, "As for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray, and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice." Reflection 36, Developing the Prayer of Openness. In prayer, not only the mind, but also the heart must speak. Our true feelings must be expressed. Our heartfelt questions must be leveled at our Creator. Our doubts must be brought out in the open. Our disappointments and our concerns must be spoken. Prayer has nothing to do with politeness. It is not simply a fireside chat. It is often the cry of the heart. It is the speech of passion. It is the occasion where our doubts and our hopes, our fear and faith mingle together, as we pour out what bothers us and what we long for. The speech of the heart is not always quiet, affirming and nurturing, nor is it always full of faith and charity. It is sometimes full of anguish. It may even be irrational and incoherent. But it cries for answers. It looks for relief. It is born of hope and not of anger. It is born of pain and not of bitterness. It springs from a relationship that is strong enough to deal with the hard and real issues, and it does not need to hide anything because it fears rejection. Nouwen rightly points out, prayer heals, not just the answer to prayer. But it is not any and every prayer that heals. It is the prayer of the heart, the prayer of openness, the prayer that cries out to the Lord that brings relief, peace, and healing. Absolutely. Might be a little off on this, but I think basically what he's saying is it's kind of like a therapy. And yeah, I could go with that. Because when you keep things to yourself, right, it bottles up. And just like anything that's carbonated, give it a little shake, see what happens, right? Once that opens up. So yeah, I mean, like, you should obviously talk to your friends or your spouse or whatever the case is, whatever relationship you feel comfortable with. But you definitely have to open up to God and Jesus. And that is therapeutic. And you're not always going to see the answers you want because He knows what you need. And what you need isn't always what you want. I know when I pray, there are many times when I stumble to find the right words, but I only stumble for a second or two. And it's not that I find the correct words, it's that I end up saying, "You know what's in my heart, you know what I'm trying to say." Because He does. To me, it's that simple. I don't know. Anyway, what do you think? What are you thinking of this book so far? Are you liking it? Do you find it helpful? I am of the belief that no matter if you believe in organized religion or not, because personally I do not. I believe in this. I would never say I'm Baptist or Pentecostal, or I would never put a label on it because there's no label in here. And in my own personal experience, and it's not vast like I'm sure a lot of you or a lot of people out there, it's not extremely vast. I don't have the knowledge some of the other people do. But what I have noticed about different versions of the religions is that pretty much all of them stray from this at some point and try and put their own interpretation on it. I'm not good with that. And that's one of the reasons I don't subscribe to organized religion. But I actually forgot where I was going with that comment. Anyway, I'm not a big proponent of churches. I like the community aspect of it, and I like that they help each other out. I love the relationship part of it. Now I remember where I was going with that. But I do think it's helpful to keep an open mind and not just stick, let's say you're strictly Baptist. Well, if you look deep into that, you may find some things you don't agree with. And I have no doubt you will. If I was ever to put a label on the way I believe, that's probably the closest one to what I believe, but I'm not by any means a Baptist. I follow what I read in the Bible. I don't follow what some guy on a stage tells me about what he read in the Bible. Well, that can be helpful, and that's kind of where I was going with this. It's good to get different sides, different reflections on it. Because you might be looking at it one way, and maybe there's more than one way to interpret it. So it's always helpful. But always keep in mind, if they're actually straying from this, then you should question them. Question them. What is the motive behind that? I don't know. What do you think? I stick to the Bible. I don't associate myself with any organized religion. I can't do it. I mean, like, the word is here. It's not from some guy in a building preaching to a bunch of people he's hoping to get money from. I'm not saying they're all in it for the money, but a good chunk of them are, right? So stick to the Bible. And the more you learn about the Bible, if you choose to actually do anything, any kind of research into the Bible, I have no doubt that you will end up using this one at some point. Because this one, in my opinion, is where the truth lies. Not in the NIV or any of the other ones. There's too much edited out of those ones and changed. Anyway, that's my rant on it. But what do you think? I think it's important to view all sides. Maybe not all, but you know what I mean. Anyway, as always, drop some feedback in the comment section. And let's end this with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. All right, folks, I really hope you're getting something out of this. Until next time, God bless.